Hi everyone, welcome to Techie Academy. In this video, we're going to be talking about CSS layout and positioning. We have the CSS position, which is static. And HTML elements are positioned static by default. Static positioned elements are not affected by the top, bottom, left, and right property. An element with position static is always positioned according to the normal flow of the page. We have div position is static. We have another one, CSS position, which is relative. An element with position relative is positioned relative to its normal position in the document flow. Setting the top, right, bottom, and the left properties will cause the element to be adjusted away from its normal position. Other content will not be adjusted to fit into any gap by the left element. You can read this later. Let's move to our example. So let's do this. And come here, we can say H2, then inside this H2, we say using position, which is static. Then after that, we can just give a p tag, which says an element with static position is always positioned according to the normal flow of the element. So this is just this. Then we can now give a div. We can say div. Then inside this div, we can say this is, which is position static. Then we'll come here. We'll give it a class, which the class should be static. Now let's come and style it. We can come here and say div.static, position static, and we can give it border which will be 2px solid. We are fond of using red. Let's use yellow. And let's check it. Static is just there. It's on its own, like it's just there. Now let's try another example, which is positioned relative. Then we already have static. The next thing we are going to do is change this. We create this one. We'll change it from static to relative. Change everything to relative. Then we have a relative one. We have div.relative and the relative position. So relative is, you can position it anywhere you want it. Either we want it top should be 20 pixels and the left should be 20 pixels. Now let's say it. Where do we have it? Can you see it's at the top, but there's a space, top left. If I say my top should be 50 pixels, let's see what will happen. We have our top because we don't have other stuffs down. That's why you can't see it like that. If I give my left to 50 pixels, you see a difference. Can you see there's a shift? Now let's give it top bottom. Because we don't have other items, you can't really see. Can you see bottom? Can you see where we have it? So that is the difference. That is how relative works. Let's move to the next one. So we have another example, which says, let's move to the next one, which says position fixed. The CSS position fixed. An element with position fixed is positioned relative to the viewport, which means it always stay in the same place, even if the page is scrolled to the top, right, bottom, left property, and are used to set the final location of the element. A fixed element does not leave a gap in the page where it would normally have been located. We have a div position which is fixed. Notice the fixed element is in the lower right corner of the page. This is an example. Then we also have position absolute. The CSS position absolute element is positioned relative to the nearest positioned ancestor. That is with position order static. However, if an absolute positioned element has no positioned ancestors, it uses the document body and move along with the page scrolling. So let's create example for fixed. We are creating another one, which is for fixed. No. We are doing fixed this time around. Changing everything to fixed. Then we are creating our own div. We'll say div dot fixed. Then inside there, we'll say position fixed, top 0. We can give our top 0, bottom 0. Then we are giving it width of 300 pixel. Then we are giving it height of 200 pixel. Let's give it 200 pixel. Then we are giving it solid yellow. Let's give it yellow too. Yellow green. Now let's see. Where's our fixed? Oh, can you see fixed is up here? Because this was where we fixed it. we fixed it here. Because that we want it at this point, that is why it is fixed. That is for fixed. Then for absolute, you can try that out. Let's move to the next one. We have CSS position sticky. An element with position sticky toggles between a relative and a fixed position, depending on the scroll position. A sticky element is positioned relative until a certain scroll position is reached. Then it sticks. In that place, the position, it's like position fixed. You must specify at least one of the top right, bottom left for the sticky position to work. In an example, when the sticky element reaches to the top is 0, it sticks to that position. So when we have an example, an image to works like this. If you want text around this, we have text position to the bottom, top left, top right, and the rest. I'll do an example of that in the next video. Thank you for watching this video. Please do follow us across all socials at Tech Academy. See you next time. Bye.